All right, in this video, I'm going to show you the best and fastest way to learn to speak a foreign language. Yeah, this is the best technique to improve your speaking. This is the language islands technique. And if you do this, you will very quickly learn hundreds or even thousands of sentences, practical, useful sentences in the language that you want to speak, or multiple languages if you want to. It's relatively easy to do, but it is hard work. You have to do it. It's simple though. The only thing you need to do is write down everything you want to say, translate it into the language you want to learn, and then you take the translation, Dutch in this case, and you could use any of the other languages. And there are other translators that you could use for other languages. And you read them aloud over and over again, the Dutch sentences, or target language sentences, not the English, obviously. You create an audio file and you listen to it over and over again. That will help with pronunciation, with listening comprehension as well, but also with your own pronunciation. And finally, you read the English and verbally translate without looking here, without cheating. Do you surf? Do you like surfing? Think, how do you say that? Try to say it. Check. Okay. You said it correctly. You didn't. And if you didn't, then you repeat it aloud again correctly this time. And you do it with the whole list. This, you should do it with as many sentences as you can. I recommend starting with the basics, introducing yourself, where you're from, what do you do for work, blah, blah, blah. And from there, you go to hobbies, and you go more and more into detail, right? So the first ones should be, my name is Mikael, I'm from this place, nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And then I do this for work, I like this, this, and this. That's a few dozen sentences. And then from each one of those, you expand into, you go from, once you've learned, I like boxing and swimming and traveling and reading and this and that and learning languages. Then from I like this, this, and this, you go to I like this because, and a huge paragraph about the thing that you like, everything you would say about it, both about it, talking about it, and what you would say in, like, while doing the activity itself. And you do that with all your hobbies, and you do that with all the places as well. Places is a good one. You could learn sentences to talk about the places you've been, the places you've lived, places you'd like to go to, or also sentences to use in that specific place if you go often. I recommend you divide them in categories so then it's easier to learn. But once you've got them, once you've written hundreds, thousands of sentences, what you should do is, and this is a half-finished language island, by the way. Let me finish it quickly. Do you surf? Do you like surfing? This is for talking about surfing, for example. I don't normally surf. Surfing is very difficult, and I don't have. It's better to use short sentences. Surfing is very difficult. You have to learn quite a lot until you can properly enjoy it. Right now, I don't have the time to learn. Took a surfing course years ago. I have many friends who surf. Sometimes I go with them. San Sebastian is a good city if you like surfing, but of the three beaches, the best one for surfing is quite far away from my home. There are also other good surfing spots in the area. For example, Sarauts is 20 minutes from here, and Biarritz is on the other side of the border. I recommend you go there if you like surfing. Two, if you like surfing. So you learn a lot of, and this is very simple, right? But just here, you've got lots of vocab and grammar as well. So you do this for, I guess it's what, like less than 20 sentences. But you do this for each one of the topics, and you learn it, and you learn a lot of vocab with this. So yeah, now we'll take this, copy it, go to TTS Maker, paste it here, choose one that we like. Dankjewel. Choose this one, for example. Well, I should probably choose a Flemish one because that's where I'm going on holiday. I want to get used to the. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how accurate it is in terms of how similar it sounds to an actual accent from Belgium, but I'm going there on holiday, so I might as well try to learn the accent. Okay, practice. And now convert to speech. I mean, this is just an example. I've done. Oh, usually it's a good idea to delete this, but translate it with the bell. But whatever. Now we've got an audio file. Yeah, no, but it's a good idea to get rid of that last part. But you get the idea. Now you download it and you add it to the rest. And you've got a playlist of all the sentences for all the conversations you want to have. You can do this with specific places for bars, restaurants, on the beach, in the hotel, in the taxi, anything really. You can prepare sentences for specific interactions, also for specific conversations. If you like to talk about chess, you write a long rant about chess and then you learn it. If you like to talk about boxing, then boxing, football, then football, traveling, whatever, language learning, you translate it and then you listen to them over and over again. And then at the same time, you start reading them aloud. Sofia, hou je van surfen? Normaal surf ik niet. Surfen is erg moeilijk. Je moet heel veel leren voordat je er echt van kunt genieten. And you keep doing it over and over and over until you can do it fluently. Fluently means being able to think in the language fast enough, and speak in fluid sentences, right? Instead of just word after word, and it takes ages for you to think of a sentence. No, you can just say the sentences when you need them because you've prepared them. This is an okay language island. It's not the best because I just did it in a moment. Normally, this is 48 seconds. Yeah, normally it's 2 or 3 minutes for a properly done one. So it'd be like at least double the amount of, probably 3 or 4 times the amount of text, a lot more content. Again, you don't have to learn a lot to be able to speak a little bit. If you're able to say just this, that'll be pretty good already for conversation because you don't. They start talking about surfing, and you don't just surf, yeah, how fun you, and you don't say the whole thing for a minute. No, you say one sentence, and then depending on what they say, uh, you answer. You say this one or that one, or yeah, depending on, it's like a flow chart, right? Depending on how the conversation, in which direction the conversation goes, you use some of the sentences or all of them or none of them, depending on, you use them depending on how the conversation evolves, right? You use the right ones. That's why you need to learn a lot of them. But this is a very, very easy way to get good at conversation quickly. You should also take notes, everything you normally talk about, maybe on your phone, send voice notes to yourself, for example. You could do that. I do that. If I talk to people about something that I hadn't prepared, yeah, we've been talking about blah blah blah, and then Tom next day I'll check, and okay, I was in this situation that I wasn't prepared for. We talked about this thing that I don't know the vocab for, etc. I wanted to talk about this, but I couldn't. Okay, then you have those, and then you prepare more, and you add them to the list, and eventually you'll have prepared for basically everything. It's pretty easy. Humans are pretty simple. Most people end up talking about more or less the same things over and over again. If you start taking notes on what we talk about, what you normally talk about, you'll realize that you usually talk about the same things and you have the very similar interactions all the time, even if it's with different people. So once you prepare for those, you can do well in most conversations. And the best thing is, once you've written, it's quite a lot of work, right? But once you've written a nice list, let's say 500 to 1,000 words, although I know of people who write thousands and thousands of words, which is great. The most work is actually writing the list, coming up with ideas, and then writing it and making it look natural, natural enough at least. Once you've written the whole thing, you can reuse it for another language, and then another language, and then another language, because you can just translate the whole thing. And yeah, there'll be some mistakes in the translation, but you'll still speak way better by doing that if you learn the text with some mistakes than if you just try to learn with other methods and then you're like, you're kind of mumbling and trying to form a sentence, and you're scared of speaking. If you memorize a few hundred sentences for all these specific topics, you'll very quickly be able to say things without any hesitation, because you've been training for that at home, right? Train specifically, practice specifically the sentences that you want to say. This is what this is all about. This is natural language learning. Learn the sentences that you will need and that you want to say. All right. I hope you found this helpful. If you're interested, there's a link in the description for my free course. If you do that, you'll learn to do a bunch of these. You get materials as well, and you'll be able to speak any language rather quickly if you do that, right?